Morbius comes out this weekend in theaters with Jared Leto as a character, directed by Daniel Espinosa. Morbius is kind of it's inside the Spider-Man universe, and they're setting up the Sinister Six for sure here, and it's just a story about how he becomes this anti-hero like Venom and what he has to struggle with as he's trying to heal himself. And one of the things I had a problem with was Adrian Horner plays the kind of love interest girlfriend in Morbius, and it just didn't work for me. A lot of this seemed rushed, even though the film is short at an hour 40 for a superhero movie these days. But just their two chemistry didn't really line up for me. It was kind of the same as the Lost City chemistry with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. I just saw them as good friends, and when they finally kissed and like got together, I didn't really believe it, and seemed just it wasn't earned. It felt like, and that also is how I felt with like the scenes with the cops in this. Tyrese Gibson's one of them, the detective trying to hunt Morbius. I thought those like storyline plot points were just not needed in the film. They're just kind of boring whenever they showed up on screen, and you knew they weren't catching Morbius and all that. But where I have to say the movie does excel at is the special effects. They are terrific special effects. Just the face of when he turns into the vampire, it just didn't look. It's just not the right look I would go for, but the actual effect of it is incredible. But one of the effects I did like that they used was kind of like puffs of dust every time he flies, and his bat radar, as he calls it, it shows like dust everywhere and all that kind of with the colors. That was very cool, and I really liked that part of the special effects of this movie. And this movie is also pretty scary. For a PG-13 rating, I think it had. I don't really check the ratings anymore, but I know it's not R, but it's right on that borderline. I feel like they dyed the blood really black at times just to make that rating possible with the PG-13. And there are some good jump scares in it as well, but just the overall story kind of fell flat for me, and I just didn't really care about any of the characters. And the villain in this turns evil for no point, in my opinion. He snaps on a dime, and I just don't understand why. It's no motivation for him turning evil all of a sudden and not listening to Morbius, who's his best friend for life, kind of going against him, going against everyone else, going against the grain. It just wasn't believable for me, and something I thought the character wouldn't do. And it was just thrown in there so there would be a villain for Morbius to fight who was also a vampire and all that stuff. But overall, this film, it's hard to rate right now. Comparing it to Venom, it is, I think, worse than the first Venom. Second Venom is probably right on track with what that got, and I think I scored that around a 40. So I'm gonna give Morbius right around 30 to 40. So I'm gonna go 36 out of 100 for Morbius. It's out in theaters now. This movie's gonna connect to more of the Spider-Man universe. So if you're invested in that, check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and if you liked it, did not like it, and what you thought of the movie. Thanks, guys.